one might think that over a long enough time frame, development will just take care of this issue. And if we look at the example of India, we can see that there have been about 700 million people using solid fuels for cooking now, and as there were 2, 3 decades ago. So we've been kind of stuck. While the proportion of people using solid fuels has decreased, the absolute number has stayed constant. And that indicates that people are stuck in what Kirk and others have called the chula trap. Chula in this case being the Hindi word for a biomass cook stove, that there's this base population that just can't get out of using biomass in these simple stoves, regardless of all the development that's been going on in India.
So waiting for development to occur has not solved the problem. Now, China, perhaps the levels of solid fuel use are going down, but they're going down slowly. It's important to point out that it is associated with poverty. But poverty alleviation, waiting for everybody to get rich is too slow a process. And I think this is quite common in public health, where you might say we're looking for these magic levers that can make people healthy before they become wealthy. Because we can, in some cases, we know what some of those levers are, cleaner water, better sanitation, vaccination, basic public health services at the village level. And we believe that household fuels, improved household fuels is another. And of course, the argument is the other way around. Once people become healthier, they're more likely to be wealthy. That is, there's an interaction in both directions. And this is sort of the basic premise of public health, is to try to find ways to make people healthy before they're wealthy. And you might add, keeping them healthy once they become wealthy. The second level way of dealing with the problem is to try to make these fuels cleaner, burn them in a more efficient way with the so-called advanced or improved biomass stoves. We call this making the available biomass clean. But this has turned out also to be quite difficult. There have been so-called improved stove programs now since the 1950s in India, with a big increase in the number of them in the last decade or two, and at the same time we understand the health effects much better and realize that things have to be really clean in a household in order to get the health benefits we need. And so we're still hoping that there'll be advanced stoves that are clean enough, but to date none of them really are. But there's a third option, which is what we are pushing ourselves these days, and that is, instead of making the available clean, why not make the clean available? Because we know what the clean fuels are. It's what all three of us use. It's gas or electricity. 60% of the world uses gas or electricity to cook. It's clean. It cooks every cuisine fine. It's aspirational. It's what people are striving for. Problem is that these fuels have not been available to the poor. And so our efforts now are focused on trying to make them available to the poor. So making the clean available.